Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. I've been doing a read through again of the book of Matthew, and I've gotten to, I think I'm on chapter 15 or 16 or so, but just rereading the parts where Yahushua HaMashiach is talking to his disciples, and this is right before the Transfiguration. And he says to them, some of you will not taste death before you see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Now, my eschatology lately has leaned more towards the little season, and that's pretty obvious. But I do have a question for those of you who don't believe that, who don't believe that we're in the little season. What's your take on that verse where he's literally saying some of you, and by you he means the disciples that are standing there talking to him? What do you make of the Messiah saying that to his disciples? Now, if we say, well, he's talking about the Transfiguration, he's talking about going up on the mount with, I believe it's James and Peter, John, I believe, that he goes up there and he is transfigured into his divine state where he has all of the authority of the kingdom. He's referring to that. Okay, that's 6 days later. Which disciple tasted death during that time? None. There was no disciple who tasted death over the course of that 6 days before the Transfiguration. So, see, he's not talking about that. Now, it could be the resurrection, which I've heard that as an argument as well. So it says, hey, he's talking about the resurrection. Well, that's him resurrected. Now he has come in his kingdom with all authority and power bestowed upon him. Which disciple has tasted death at that point? Well, there's one, Judas. He has taken his own life. So if you want to go and say, well, the Messiah meant all of you except for one, it's still kind of a weird wording that says some of you will not taste death. Well, 11 out of 12, some, I guess. I guess you could say that. That still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, as that doesn't really line up. But then you go fast forward to 70 AD, where now some disciples have tasted death. We do have an account of chariots in the clouds, or coming on the clouds, attacking the city of Jerusalem, attacking the temple, and there being war waged by spiritual entities, whatever you want to call them, in the clouds, angels, chariots, soldiers, whatever it is. That's the account given in Josephus, the Antiquity of the Jews. That's what it says. It's coming in the clouds. Some of the disciples have tasted death, some haven't tasted death. So we have that. That's where the little season eschatology says, hey, he came back here. He's coming back here. For those of you who don't say that's it either. Now we're 2,000 years later, if you believe the current historical timeline. Which disciple has not tasted death at this point that's going to see him coming in the clouds? I'll wait. Yeah, that's all of them. All of them have tasted death at this point. So I guess the question is, how do you make that verse fit into any other eschatology than he's come back at some point? The Son of Man has come in his kingdom at some point. Unless you say, well, that just means something completely different than the second coming. Which again, the only two things you could really point to is the transfiguration and the resurrection, which neither one of them makes sense in the context of what was said. And I think the way it's said is very important. So I don't know. I feel like that if you ask those questions and you ask them the right way, there's only one answer that really makes sense. And I've said it before, history can say whatever it wants. Science can say whatever it wants. But if I take what I know to be the Messiah's words, what he actually said, and this is not a Mandela affected verse, to my knowledge it's not, I'm going to go with the verse. I'm going to go with what was said by the Messiah. That's it. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Just asking that question, hey, what does it mean when he says some of you will not taste death until you see the Son of Man coming in the clouds? Or coming in his kingdom. He doesn't say coming in the clouds on that particular verse. That's somewhere else in the scripture. But that verse, I think it's at the end of Matthew, either 14 or 15. It's around there somewhere. It's literally right before the transfiguration. So if you find that, just go back one verse and it's right there. So let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts? If you disagree, that's fine. I need to rein it back a little bit. Like I know that video I made about the Conspiracy Con conference, and I took it too personal, like that they call people who believe a certain thing a cult. I mean, I took that personally. I shouldn't have, and I did. And we're all at different spots along our walk, and each of us, as we move closer to the Messiah, as we move closer to the Spirit, we should grow in our own understanding of truth, and not everybody's there. Not everybody's at the point that they understand everything, and none of us are going to understand everything on this side of eternity. But some of us do have, I think, an understanding of things that is outside of the mainstream, and people don't like that, and they'll call you cult members or call you demon-possessed heretics, whatever they just call you. And we've got to accept that and just not give up on those people, but pray for them and stick to that mindset, even if the flesh wants to get angry about it. So anyway, take care, guys. God bless.